Here's a list of some of the substances that we have been working with over the years, mainly by phasing out and making the communication to our customers easier in that way also, but also to make the products more safe, of course, are actually linked to EDCs, and that's interesting to see in this perspective. If I go to the important resources that we see, it's very much the long-term relationship we have with a number of independent test laboratories, not only for testing, but actually also for consultation. It's very important with the chemical industry and its expertise, of course. It's very important with independent experts. And we have done some of the major phase-outs over the years, for instance, the phase-out of all brominated flame retardants in collaboration with university professors, where we got an advice that could also fit in the business context and improve our brand. Network related to REACH has been very and are very important. We have the input from NGOs, and I must say especially not only because of being here, but the SYN list is definitely a very good tool to work with, and also to, as it was said earlier, give the early warning, so it's not only IKEA saying something, it's actually also somebody else. If addressing especially the endocrine disrupting substances, it is not always very clear about the definition criteria, test methods, but it might, of course, be linked to the very little knowledge that some have linked to EDCs, especially when we compare to the knowledge of the CMRs that people have worked with for many decades. So it means, I think, a lot if we could move forward, and as it's also done by having a day like this, to identify priority EDCs and to identify also IDC uses. By addressing the uses, it's of course much more likely that we actually address the alternatives in a good way. And very recently, then the bisphenol discussion came up, and it became clear that the impact is to a very high degree linked to the thermal paper in cash recepts. And a large investigation was carried out, and it turned out that there are actually alternatives, or at least one company offering alternatives that are, to the knowledge that we have obtained, bisphenol-free. And it's a more expensive solution, but as it also improves the durability and it in that way fits to our longer-term warranties, it was decided to be a good solution to proceed. So, yes, to conclude, we have ambitions definitely to address EDCs, and it's also interesting with the approach to address EDCs for being an EDC and not just for having EDC properties and additional classifications. There's need for clear directions how to prioritize the EDCs in order to work more efficiently. And as always, but maybe even more in this area, the communication along the supply chain is important, because here we are in an area where more education, more knowledge need to be transferred. And formal, informal collaborations cannot be encouraged enough.